Hi there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies, and here is a topic that I have thought about doing for a while and just finally came to a head recently. It's about addiction, using this language of addiction or getting people hooked in our marketing. So it was a few weeks ago, a month ago maybe actually, I got an email from a colleague of mine saying, "Hey Ted, it's been a long time, I'd love to catch up." And I said, "Oh, hey, good to hear from you." And I suspected that her reaching out, since I don't hear from her almost ever, probably had something to do with the program coming up. I said, "Well, do you have a program coming up?" She said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I do." And so we started talking, and I had to be candid with her because I'd seen her present at a conference that I was at of a number of colleagues getting together. And she'd stood on stage and talked about creating online courses and home study programs, this type of thing. And she spoke a lot about, and with a great enthusiasm, about how to make these things more addictive, how to use the same tools that, Big Brother uses to get us addicted to social media or online gambling, all these things to get us addicted to these transformational online courses. And I didn't like it. At that point, I just thought, I'm not going to work with her. I can't. I just see it so differently. And even if she may have a different understanding of it, I couldn't share this with my people because they would just be horrified by the language. And so I told her, I sent her a message back on Voxer, and I just said, "Look, good to hear from you, and here's the thing." And bless her, she messaged back and she said, "Thank you so much. I've thought about this a lot. Should I use that language or not?" And what she came to was that, these things are being used by the people to, get us addicted to really shitty things in the world. So why not use the same tools to get people addicted to good things? If people were addicted to, let's say, eating healthy food, isn't that better than people being addicted to drugs that are going to destroy their immune system, or addicted to exercise rather than being addicted to Netflix? So she said that's number one. And number two, it works. We've tried it without that language, but this language sort of works better in terms of getting clicks and people buying in the marketing. And number three, I just think humans are addictive. We're addictive creatures. Ever since the caveman days in the caves, sex and food, we've always been addictive. And so I responded and I said, "Look, first of all, good to hear from you, and I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for your candor, and being willing to share that." And I said, I hear what you're saying. I think I just have a different understanding of it. That there's a video I did also about marketing in Star Wars or something, the dark side and the light side of the Force in marketing, where there's a similar theme explored about using the tools that have been, so harmful, trying to use them for good. But I said, look, I think this world needs less addiction. I mean, I'll tell you, with every passing week, I resist doing the online thing more. Doing these videos, having a website. I like it less and less, frankly, because I know what it means. It means this video is on the internet, and that means you're watching it on the internet, which means you're not at home. You're not present with the people around you. It means you're on the phone, which means there's going to be notifications. I know this is all part of keeping you on a device that is addictive and is designed to be addictive. So, I would just say, consider this work. This is time sensitive. If I can find a way to not be on the internet at some point, I will, or minimally. I suppose these are all the things we navigate. But I just told her, I said, look, so I get it. I understand that there's a need to do the thing that's effective. And a lot of my clients struggle with this because they love the idea of marketing that feels good, but the effective part, there's a resistance to. Most of my clients are artists. They love doing their work, but they don't have the entrepreneurial side of how to, and they resist that because they imagine it's a binary, and I don't think it is. So I said, I hear that, needing to do what's effective, but we're in one of the most addicted cultures in the world, or societies, I would say, that's ever lived. We're so traumatized, we're so impoverished culturally, spiritually, emotionally, community-wise. We're so set up to be addictive and addicted. And so I don't think using those tools is what's needed. To try to solve the problem of people being addicted to bad things with the tool of addiction is more addiction in the world. And so this is troubling to me. I said, number two, I've got issues with, I just have a different understanding of humans. I don't think humans are addictive in nature. I don't think cavemen or indigenous people still are, when the culture's really cooking, I don't think that is an addictive something. I think that's actually the solution to addiction. There was this study with rats where they gave rats a choice of, water with like cocaine in it and water, just normal water. And they tended to go to the one with the drugs in it. So they said, boy, this is an addictive substance. But then one of the researchers thought, we've got them in such a bizarre setup. Like, this is not a natural habitat. So what would we do if we made a perfect setup for rats? And so they designed a home where there'd be just the right number. It wouldn't be overcrowded. So they wouldn't be stressed by that. Where they'd have all the fun things to do. They'd have enough food. And so they designed this thing based on what they knew about rats. It'd be perfect for rats. And the rats almost never drank the cocaine water. It just didn't hook them because their needs were being met in so many other ways. So I think when there's a thriving culture, that's the antidote. And this online stuff and online courses is not culture. So it's a trouble. I know there was a restaurant called Raw in San Francisco. A guy named Giuliano ran it, and he was telling me one day how much sea salt he'd put in his food. He said, because I know I'm competing with McDonald's, not that people were choosing between those two restaurants in any given night, but the palate is so conditioned for so much salt and sugar, and so he had to work with that. Even if he might not have wanted to put that much salt, he knew that that's what was needed to get people to not think it was too bland. Yeah, so basically that's what I said to her, and bless her. I'll be happy to see her when I see her next. There's no acrimony, there's no hard feelings. We're all just trying to figure out how to do this business thing online. But I just thought I would share this because I know this is something that people wonder about sometimes. I'm not for it. I'm not for making our things more addictive, for making them compelling, engaging, rewarding, fulfilling, meaningful. Yeah, making it easy to do, not making it so impossible that, people get no satisfaction out of it. There is such a thing as good instructional design. There is such a thing as, making it fun and all of that. But I think that word addiction, it's not a healthy thing. Anyways, I think I probably made my point. Hopefully this was meaningful to you in some way, and maybe less meaningful to you, but maybe there's somebody you could forward it to who's in this game, who's using that language, and maybe they would find it of interest. I don't know. Probably not. Anyways, hopefully this is helpful to somebody somewhere at some point. So share it up and let's find out. You can subscribe to my videos, that little red button below on YouTube, and then click the bell icon. I'm on Facebook. I've got a website, marketingforhippies.com, and if you have any reflections or questions, please just put them in the comments below, and maybe it'll turn into another video. Take care.